Ooh, that sounds like a
Gotta
lovely
stay
time.
whining and dining the bears. Lest the bears whine and dine on you.
Ha ha ha.
We didn't have any tortillas, but we have that like dried stuff that you use to make tortillas with. So now Rez is like, I'm
Flour,
gonna make no, it's like maize.
corn,
Mice.
corn
Yes.
powder, basically.
Yeah.
But
Which I'm very
welcome on in, everybody, to another week
uh
of wandering around aimlessly. The
we have
tabletop game.
some goals.
Yeah, to eventually stop wandering. Maybe.
Somewhere.
Mhm.
To run away from our past. I don't know. But welcome on in. We'll start with just our little round of where can everyone be found. You can find me at little_foxy on Twitch, and I'm here in this game as well as in the Awooters Does D&D game on Sundays. Ginger, where can you be found?
Hi. I'm on the internet sometimes at Squizzle19 or 119, one of those two, at Twitch. And I haven't touched Twitter in forever. But it
Didn't you
exists.
just post to it recently?
No, that was TikTok.
Oh.
I post more on TikTok,
TikTok.
but it's all like plant
TikTok.
related stuff. The TikTok and sometimes dogs.
Ooh, doggies.
Doggies.
Yeah, I have one with my dog Biscuit. Biscuit baby.
Welcome on in. And then, Zurich, where can you be found on the internet?
I could usually be found lurking in the Wooter Stream Team Discord, and if I'm not there, I'm usually hiding somewhere in somebody's stream while they're live.
Nice, nice.
Spooky.
I know,
And
right?
Ross_the_bear _where_can_you_be_found.
_I_can_be_found _Twitch_dot_
This feels like a weird computer version of Pig Latin.
Praise the underscore.
For real though, you can find me here on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on my channel, which Foxy has already so kindly laid out for you in all of its underscore glory. Yeah, I do things on there every week.
You just
Come hang
started
out.
a couple new games, I believe.
So I did finish My Friendly Neighborhood yesterday.
Yeah,
Start to
did you
finish. That was
Luigi?
fun. Yeah. That was 2 games each in one sitting. I was very impressed, honestly.
Hey, you're working through that backlog.
It's happening.
Angels sometimes, you know. Anyway.
I know.
Oh, stop it. I have a problem.
I'm so busy.
But who wants to fill us in on what every character other than theirs was up to during last session?
Oh, we got lost.
Yeah.
So Ginger, what did everyone other than Ginger get up to last session?
Zerk got fucked up in the woods, but he was very excited about it. It was a good time. And Taryn, was walking around and was like, "Ooh, look at all this delicious food." And then Rose was like, "Haha, look at all this delicious food." And then they ran off in 2 different directions. And then that's no. There was also Bird.
Yes.
Larkin.
Oh, Larkin, who was like, "I'm cool," and walking on the beach. And that's all I remember.
And Francisco.
And Francisco, who was also like, "Dear Lord, I'm walking 10 miles
But in the
on
other
my
direction.
short, in the other direction, on my short, stubby little turtle legs." He probably stopped for a tea break at least twice.
Nice, nice.
I like to imagine he like hitchhiked on a wagon to get to the bookstore.
Probably, yeah.
Or at least one like gondola, but like it's basically just a hoverboat that hovers on the land.
I love that there's just like a side adventure that is just Francisco traversing to the library.
So, unfortunately, we did lose a player and their character, Atlas. So they will go off and probably be one of the people that, during our last session, someone remarked that sometimes people just disappear. And that's probably what's going to happen here. Who knows where they went to? We may yet see them sometime in the future. But I'm going to switch us. Boop.
I think it was the otters. The otters did him in.
They wouldn't.
No.
No.
Also, is it just me or is the chat box misaligned on the screen?
It
Is the what?
I have to move it.
Okay. I hate being the one always saying, "Oh, this looks weird," and then you're like,
Well, for this one, I couldn't. I forgot to check it when we started
Okay.
stream, but I couldn't position it properly until there was text.
Oh, I see now. Yeah.
I don't want to literally be the bearer of bad news.
Ah.
Still not spelled
Adorable.
BAER.
Maybe they had too much wine.
Oh no. No, don't fire me.
There we go. That should help.
You can't
Alright.
fire me, Atlas. I'm your favorite.
Ouch.
But we went ahead and put Atlas and their playbook into their little sleeping bag, where they will go to his
Confirmed.
distant friends for characters past. We'll never forget them.
So far away, been far away for far too long.
I need to name this one.
Sorry, I was
Hello?
trying to like pull out my inner dad rock.
I heard it.
Captain
No.
of the Bifrost.
He shall be missed.
Rest in pepperonis.
And chicken.
It sounds
Pizza.
so greasy. Ew.
And
Okay,
we
where
will
did
do
I
a 21
Oh,
Taco Bell
bro.
salute here.
Be
21
where
Taco
did
Bell
those Skippy?
salute.
Hold on.
Yeah, instead of the 21 gun salute, it's the 21 Taco Bell dongs.
I just imagine.
Oh.
Okay, dog. I just imagine a whole like troop of people all facing each other, just like squeezing the shit out of chalupas.
That would be
Present
amazing.
arms.
Clench. Release. Alright. Let me also. Oh, here we go. Here's our El Dorado.
El
Think-
Dorado.
We're going to go ahead and put Tippy, Doodle, and Ursula in there for now. So it's just us right now, and we're kind of just roaming around. Most of us are in the larger city that we have decided is the, quote, northern city, near a waterfall. Francisco, the side character for Squiz, is the only one that is off on their own, if you will.
Mhm.
We have...
He has somehow found himself on a skipper.
Zurich and Larkin are both together right on the outside of town, but entering town. And
Wait, before we move on, did you say he found himself on a skipper?
Yeah.
Like a captain?
No, that's the
Like-
name
like-
of a boat.
You
Isn't
mean
it?
like a skiff?
Oh.
I thought you meant the skipper bug, which also works.
Because I was
The
like,
water
It
whoa,
skipper.
can be both. It can
I
be
thought it was the
both.
water skipper.
Francisco's having a good time with some stranger.
It's a
not
skiff,
Francisco's
but it's
way.
a water skipper. That's cool.
You would picture that, Zana.
Yeah,
Damn it, I just read that.
yeah.
wish
I
I
read that
hadn't.
as soon as it popped up. I had to mute. I was laughing so damn hard.
No.
Just thinking, like, no, no, that's the after party.
Oh
Oh
no.
Oh
no.
god.
Still at the Taco
That's
Bell
the
because no
wake.
one made it far enough.
God. The only time I've ever gotten food poisoning was from Taco Bell, and I am a raccoon. I can eat garbage and be fine. There was something in there.
I thought you were a ram.
Oh, I mean on the inside.
But Taryn, Ginger, and Rose all got separated and are getting different food. And that's
Mhm.
basically where we left off. We're at about midday, if you will, with the idea being that we could spend a few hours exploring this bigger town. And then Ursula would show back up later for bringing us to the south town where we'd hopefully meet up with Francisco. Other than that, there's nothing else that is solid framework for today's episode. So, if anyone has any particular direction that they want to pull anyone else or their characters or what have you, have at thee.
So I need to, because if Rose remembers, if they're lost, the last time we talked about this was to um, follow the moths.
They don't have moths here.
Do
Yeah,
you
that's
have an equivalent?
The randomly moving around bee
Yep.
fleas,
yeah, the bumble fleas.
bumble
Oh,
fleas.
right, the bumblefleas.
They move without
I
any real direction unless they're tied to a boat. So
The Blamazon drones.
the Blamas. Curse you, Blamazon. Gotcha. So there's no place that they're like congregating, like a hub or anything.
not in this case. They're
Oh.
larger than the moths are, so it's hard for them to congregate. It's like not a car lot; it'd be an RV lot for us.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's no central hive.
I don't want there to be a central hive.
Well, there are like most wild honeybees actually are in the like not honeybees, but like most wild bees are basically in the ground. They don't have nearly as many people or as many bugs as like regular honeybees do. Anyway, random tangent. We gotta find. I gotta find Rose. I'm gonna get in trouble. So,
Well, yeah, she's at a she's at a what were we saying? It was like a Teppan steak sort of.
Dongo.
that's where I was at. I was at the
You're
Sweet
the
Dongo.
Dongo.
Yeah, because
She's at like
I
a step-on
assumed.
girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ginger assumed that she would look for something sweet because that's what Ginger likes, and Ginger is 100% sure that they like the exact same food, and then Rose did not do that.
Because she's enamored with the onion volcano.
Yeah, yeah.
But then
So
you got
now I'm
Taryn, who's
basically
like
gonna.
eating K barbecue. Like grill it in front of yourself, K barbecue.
Yes.
He's like, it's like cooking for myself, and it's good food, and I don't have to supply myself with the meats.
I'm basically walking around with like 3 sticks worth of dongo in one hand and like 2 in the other, just like shouting with a mouthful of food, asking random people if they've seen a small rabbit. Not too worried about it though.
I mean, this place seems nice enough.
Yeah. Also, we're trapped.
Too nice.
Like, where is she gonna go?
And she's sort of matured a little bit since the last time she got lost like this. So she's like doing her best not to panic. She's like, all right, you know what? It's okay. We're gonna figure this out.
Looks for mods, doesn't find mods. Panic +1.
But then again, you are a giraffe in a town of bears and otters. You will stick out like a sore thumb. So
Yeah, I would imagine. I would imagine so.
And Terran has a shield. And that will
Big
at least stand
shiny
out.
shield.
big and round.
Mm-hmm.
The shield, right?
Sure.
Like any good dad.
Yeah, I think so. So she'll start like wandering. Um, let's say she's like wandering in like a northerly direction. She's passing by other stands and shops.
It's like when you lose someone at a convention. Like, it's not too large of an actual area, but it's still surprisingly hard to find someone.
Right, just because there are so many people around.
I went. I rolled for it. I went in like an easterly direction ish. I feel like I'm probably gonna run into Taryn before I run into Rose. Because I imagine it's going to be difficult for me to see someone small. Like, it would be easy for other people to see me, but it's hard for me to see a small person.
Right. Yeah, that's probably true. Although I think so Terran's having his food, doing his best not to think about it.
Terran's like, it's fine. They're
We're
certainly with Ginger.
we're just gonna enjoy this moment and not worry about it. But I feel like
Hey, Taryn.
oh, there you two are. Here, try this. It's really good.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's delicious. Do you know where Rose is?
What?
So she went in another direction, and you went in another direction, and then I had to think about which direction I wanted to go, and then I missed both. But I got Dongo. You wanna try one?
Terran slaps his payment onto the onto the counter, gets up and starts walking.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Which way
So-
should go?
It's been more than 5 minutes, and I went in a couple of different directions before I found you. But I think maybe she went north. In that ish direction.
Bravo, you win. I was thinking north.
I rolled dice to see if she'd be right or not. I was like, oh,
So,
damn. It could
you
have been
guys head
wrong.
north. I like to imagine that in an effort to get closer towards the lake and towards Ursula, that would have been the direction that Rose would have gone in, and that she would have bumped into Larkin and Zurich, who are walking into town from that direction.
Makes sense. She is responsible.
That's perfect. Oh, hey, you two.
Hey, how's it going? I don't remember his voice.
Larkin's voice?
Yeah,
would the word
I'll figure it
be?
out. It's like
Oh my gosh. You know how dumb I am? I couldn't remember Larkin's name, so I physically, like, on the game, moved all the way over and then, like, read through his sheet, and then I looked over at Twitch at
where
the
he's
live
listed.
stream right there. Anyway, sorry.
I remember how Larkin sounds, but like just being able to describe that, it's kind of difficult.
I
I
remember it
picture
being
that he
like,
speaks kind of like a drama teacher.
I remember it being like old man mixed with like almost like cawing of a crow.
Yeah.
So it's like,
That'll work.
ah,
It's like, ah, yes.
there we
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
it.
There it
Yeah,
too.
is.
right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Krazoa Palace.
Wow, Rose, that was a pretty good Larkin impression there.
Thank you, thank you.
So, what are you doing out here all by yourself?
Well, me, Ginger, and Taryn, we all took a hot air balloon out here, and we were gonna have some lunch, but we all got separated by our noses, I think.
Oh, so you guys were all finding some food. I will say,
Yeah.
it's been a minute since I've eaten. What about you, Zurich?
Suddenly, Zerk's stomach grumbles pretty loudly. Oh yeah, I think I should eat something after that funky tea I had.
Uh-oh, sounds like someone's got the munchies.
Oh
Well,
yeah, you could say that.
you go ahead and stick with us. We'll try to find Taryn and Ginger in town. Maybe you can point us to some of the food you found.
Great. I'm sure it won't be too hard to find a giraffe in a town full of bears and otters.
Yes, that is fair. Your father a little bit more difficult, but Ginger we should be okay with.
All right, let's go.
Bright butterfly glasses, like 7 feet tall, orange.
It's the only way that Francisco has not lost you yet.
Bright red polka dot bow tie.
If it wasn't for the squeaking of Larkin's wheelchair there carrying Woad, uh, Zurich would have easily gotten distracted by now with all these different exotic smells all around him. He would have been long gone into the crowd, unable to find his way back to everybody.
Goodbye.
So we can see Ginger and Taryn can hear us approaching. So if we ever get close to each other, we should be able to home in.
There is also that bell on Ginger's ear that she just has all the time now.
That'll help us find Ginger.
Mm-hmm.
But for right now, you guys are currently heading north towards the waterfall side of town, and we are in the south side heading towards food. So I guess we'll just follow along for now
Mm-hmm. So,
and switch back to the other two. What are you guys up to?
Taryn, I commend your lack of sneezing. I appreciate that this is not a panic moment. I assume. I may be assuming aggressively.
He's kind of like laser focused on like the crowd and like looking for rabbit ears.
That's fair. I can't imagine she's gotten too far. Although I feel kind of bad that we don't have the moss to follow, which was the plan last time. I think we need to come up with like a meeting spot.
Mm.
And Ginger's just
Well,
kind of like ambling, just talking at this point.
just sort of talking to the air.
Yeah. But she's looking.
uh, Taryn turns around and says, "I'm not really all that worried about whether or not she'll find us. I mean, I think she's getting pretty good at being self-reliant now, but I it's less about her finding us and more about you know what? Maybe it's better I don't say that.
Ginger's gonna look at him and be like, "Hey, you're a good dad.
What? Where'd that come from?
I just wanted you to know."
Oh, gee, thanks.
We'll find her.
Yeah, better sooner rather than later.
Obviously, she always finds the best food. I mean, yeah, for her safety.
Uh-huh.
Walk in, walk in, walk in, walk in, walk in,
Stomp,
not
stomp,
getting
stomp, stomp,
distracted.
stomp, stomp,
Ginger
Very
is
focused.
singing.
stomp.
And then we got
Looking for a
Zurich, Larkin,
rabbit,
and
looking for
Rose.
Rose.
They probably get up to like the base of that waterfall area, like where the water really calms down. It's the start of the food district, if you will. A lot of riverside venues that you guys were perusing earlier. Many bridges across it.
Just take in that smell. She does like a really big inhale. She's like, ah. Honestly, it's no wonder we got separated.
Oh yes, it sounds and smells wonderful. It's quite the lively town. Very much so a change of pace from Grimland.
What do you think, Zurich?
Oh, well, I'm sorry, I got distracted. All the food here smells so good. Then you just see Zerg zoning out again, just completely lost in the smell of the foods, just intoxicating him, almost
Lost
as
in
if
the
it's too good to
sauce.
be true. Yeah, quite literally lost in the sauce.
Rose recognizing that suddenly is like, maybe like we don't want to lose him, so she'll like gently like grab like the end of his cloak just to keep him close.
Give it a little tug if he starts to wander.
That's cute.
Zerg notices and looks down at Rose, gives her a little smile and just a gentle pat in the head. Right, before we all end up splitting off in different directions, what should we try first?
Well, I figure it's probably best that we find the other two first, and then we can all sit down and eat.
Oh, that is fair. You said that all of
Yeah,
you guys probably got separated. They might have as well. So, given the chance, maybe everyone has a different food preference as well. We might actually be able to see what everyone's had already.
See?
Hmm.
Sometimes I
Let me
have good
double check
ideas.
my caretaker stuff here. Go. Okay. So at this point, I think that in an effort to like help us along, Zenith, the god of a single sunbeam that lives in a little lamp at the top of the wheelchair, if you will kind of like flit about back and forth and almost like gesturing for us to follow. To which
Oh.
Larkin like wordlessly just starts following. It's like, because this is just another day for him.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we're going this way.
And almost like a little flashlight beam, it like shines a little beam in front of it on the ground, and is leading us along further upriver. Maybe Zenith knows something that we don't.
Well, I'm not really in the habit of questioning. What do you call them?
It's just a small and forgotten god. Little thing. Was trying to find a permanent home for it, but for right now it sticks with me.
Hey, but if they're here with you, how could they be forgotten?
Well, that's what I'm trying to keep them from being.
Hmm.
There's
Just
a lot of
sort of
them that are
ponders
small
that.
and forgotten. We pass them all the time.
What do you
Rose
mean?
might know that Ginger's glasses are technically a small and forgotten god.
Well,
But one that you cared for.
she definitely knows that it's Peaches.
Well, they don't speak in the normal voice. Some of them speak very, very quietly. Other ones speak in actions and other things. And a lot of them just try to lead simple lives. We pass them all the time when you're walking around through nature, through the towns. They're out there doing what they do. And it's our job to try to not forget them and their contributions to making sure everything keeps running.
So, what about the ones that aren't small or forgotten? And she sort of like rubs the mark on the nape of her neck.
Oh, well, I've heard that there are some sizable ones. I think that almost everyone remembers the, oh geez. What was it? What is
You
it
know,
called?
the ones that everyone.
I'm busting open my book. It has a weird name that's very similar to like a D&D name, and I'm trying not to mix them up.
Oh shit! Actual lore.
Yeah, I thought it was something that was made up before, and I'm just thinking, oh yeah, so the unforgotten god that was all of a sudden forgotten about.
Just bear with me.
Ah.
I can't do anything else.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm waiting for somebody at some point to say, rather than bear with me, someone will just say, just Ross with me for a moment.
Dang.
Ah.
Anyway, I found it. So yes, there are the small and forgotten ones, often forgotten. There are those like myself that take a particular interest in them and make sure that they're cared for and have a nice place to live. You've got the fish-headed daemons, if you will. They aren't to be trifled with, but are rarely seen. They're legends in and of their own right. Most have heard about the slobbering god.
Ew.
Yes.
Ew.
She is apparently long since dead, according to legend. And then you've got the great sky gods. They're like the small, forgotten ones, but they live in a land beyond this one and monitor everything. I like to think that all the small ones are kind of like tiny little henchman for them.
Hmm. I wonder what it must be like. Living all the way up there, never coming down and having food like this.
Well, you could venture the other question as well. What is it like for them to look at us and be like, huh, they can never come up and experience what it's like up here? They seem so grounded and so on.
Do you think they stay up there because they too live in fear of what they've created?
Well, I guess it depends on who you're talking to. Some think they made a lot of what it is here, and others don't. And they think that they're just here to keep an eye on things, and something else even bigger than them might have made everything. That's a bit too big headed for me. I'll just keep my eyes on the thing that they can actually see, which are the small ones that I can speak to and help along, and they help us. And he gestures forward to Zenith, who is currently guiding the way.
I guess it doesn't make sense to worry about all the stuff that you don't know. Just focus on the stuff you do and keep walking, right?
Exactly. You don't want to get held up on things that have no answers, or at least not easy ones.
Life lesson.
Life left.
Uh,
But yeah, no, that's page 7, by the way. All of that information came from just page 7 of the PDF.
brought to you by the letter Existential Crisis.
Letter E for existential.
But I will transition us over. How far north are you guys traveling?
We
I
are.
don't-
That's. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I wouldn't think that we'd like go so far as to like leave town. We definitely would like see the boundary and be like, okay, maybe we went too far.
I like to imagine that as you get further up the mountain, you almost come to what looks like the beginnings of a very large temple or shrine type area, where it like transitions to a more administrative, um, symbolic area instead of just, the hustle and bustle of daily life.
I,
I'm kind of imagining, the Shinto temples that are up at the top of mountains.
Yeah, I
So
see that.
you can kind of make out like the gates leading up, and it gets to be a lot quieter, but there are still a few people around.
So
I
peaceful.
feel like this place is quiet. And Ginger just kind of looks around. Not that I would know. It just looks quiet. I assume that it is. And I kind of look down at Ross. Or, hello, Taryn.
The other bear.
The other bear.
Well, you can feel the difference, can't you? Like the air is not so busy like it was down there.
The air being busy. It's a cool thought. Oh, you're right. My eyes aren't darting around as much as they usually are. Although things do look cool here. I wonder how old this stuff is. Do you think maybe this is where they first started?
Well, I don't know a whole lot about how civilizations start, but I have heard that sometimes organized religion is where things really pick up. So who knows? Maybe.
Who knows? But I do feel like Rose probably isn't over here.
That's probably a good call. Unless the monks here are trying to convert her or something. They're not gonna, are they? No, I'm being silly. Of course not. That's
no. It doesn't happen that fast.
Why are our dice becoming a tower of
No,
Babel?
it's stuck. I can't move. I can't lift the tower anymore.
Oh no!
Oh
Dude,
no.
we have reached the heavens. How did you get it to jump so high?
I carefully picked up the stack underneath each other's, and then I just slowly stacked them on two, and then when it got to
No,
the end there, it got real iffy.
when you were picking them up, you were able to get them to jump like really high.
Oh yeah, I just dragged it over top of the other dice, and then it just
You moved
floated
the
up
big
there.
tower on top of the lower one instead of the other way
Yeah.
around.
No, I mean when you did the juggle, like that, like that.
Oh, I right click and then you just click roll.
Whoa! Okay, sorry.
Oh my god.
So I like to imagine that as you guys are like, I don't think Rose would have gotten up this high. We can probably leave, and you'll both turn around to leave. And there will be this like short little old otter lady that's just standing there, like with a cane, got a big
Oh,
shawl on, has the general demeanor of like Sophie.
aw. She's like a little hunched.
A little bit.
Oh, hello, ma'am.
Can we help you?
Ah, hello. What brings you up the mountain?
Oh, nothing specific. We were just looking for little rabbit girl about yay high. You haven't seen her, have you?
No, nothing like that up here.
Oh well, thank you. We'll be going now.
I could help you find them if you want.
Oh,
Yes.
how?
Yes.
Here, come on with me to my office.
Taryn kind of looks at Ginger and just kind of like gives a shrug.
Maybe she has like a giant megaphone or
No.
something.
The tower has fallen.
It must be rebuilt.
We were too close to godhood.
Our languages were confused, gargle slabber. But so this lady like brings you into like, it looks like a booth at first, but that's just like the architecture feels like that, where like the front of it is an open, almost storefront. But then it goes into like a little room with a table in it. There's a tiny kitchen off to the side. A very functional living space, if you will. And the lady kind of sits in front of like a bit of a fire pit that's just in the middle, with a chimney overhead. And she pulls a box out from the side.
What's in the box?
Crunch Bridge.
What? What was that?
Hmm.
What did you say was in the box?
I haven't yet.
Oh.
Oh, come on, step inside. Don't be shy. I try to keep the place pretty clean. It's pretty nice.
Okay.
I'm assuming I have to dip down to get in there.
100%.
Oh,
Like,
yep.
no more than like other doors, but you're just tall.
Yeah. One of these days we'll visit a place for tall people.
You go to a town full of snakes and you're like, haha, this will be the place. And you realize that because they're snakes, they're all actually like to your knee for the most part.
They
No.
slither in.
Ginger
But
just kind of lays on the ground at that point.
so she opens up this little box and pulls out what looks like a like shell of some sort, like a beetle shell. And inside are claws and other stuff from probably a very similar beetle, and it's all just sitting here. All right, sit down, sit down.
Taryn is visibly uncomfortable, but he sits down, sort of like just kind of like puts his hands together.
Ginger kind of does the like the squat where like her knees are very high, but she is sitting in the chair.
So when you guys are like sitting down, she rolls this like pseudo bowl, if you will, around, moving all the claws in much the same way as like Rafiki from Lion King moved the turtle shell. And was just like throwing it around and tossing stuff into it. But she doesn't add anything else. The bones will know. And then she like gives it a good thunk, like with more strength than you'd probably expect from her arms. It just gives a good solid thunk to the ground. And she looks over. She's like, something's afflicting you, throwing us off. Okay, you said you're looking for a bunny, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's only about 13.
All right, I think we're gonna have to... Actually... And she gives it another shake and another little, like, drop to the ground. She's like, oh, would you look at that? It seems to have been all cleared up.
Oh, well, that's convenient.
Yeah, could have sworn one of you two was cursed or something. Let's...
Oh.
Excuse me.
Ginger kind of looks at him like, eh?
All right, she's getting food. She's not alone. Traveling with two companions. This sound familiar?
Oh yeah,
Can
she
you-
probably ran into the others.
I hope so.
Oh, that's
can you
fair.
confirm that it's a crow and a tiger?
Hard to say. I wouldn't be able to confirm she was a bunny with only these bones. I just happen to know that because you told me.
Oh.
You're not gonna take my bones, are you?
People's bones don't work as well. You need something
Okay.
more attuned to nature. Well, it does look like she's getting food, though. Or at least she's really close to food.
Well,
There's
that
something
makes
confusing this thing, like... I guess it makes sense. She's currently lost. I presume she's lost. I guess she's still trying to find you, but she's around food.
Well, that confirms our suspicions that she's not here, at least.
Yeah, I guess we just head back the way we came. To Ginger, it's a little too trusting. Just kind of assumes. That was like, oh, they're with companions, they must be ours.
The otter kind of takes some of the little claws and bits and bobs and like between her fingers and tosses them in as if like casting dice. No, if you head directly back the way you came, you should run into them, but you'll want to leave quickly.
Oh,
Taryn
I guess
kinda,
you
like,
don't have
leans-
time to look for one other person, do you?
I mean, it depends on how pressing it is to find this bunny friend. You could always come back and visit.
Yeah, that's true. I'll come back.
Alright.
One more question before we leave.
Uh-huh.
He kind of like leans in close. It's like, can you tell if anyone's watching them?
What do you think?
If she can, or if someone is.
Yes.
Then
What
yes.
That's
what
fair.
do you
That's
think? So
fair.
she can tell and someone's watching them.
Yes.
Yes, someone's definitely watching them. I had assumed that earlier when I saw something of that nature, a watchful eye, that it was the other two watching over her. But that watchful eye was a little off kilter, not aligned with what she's looking for. So, if they're all looking for you guys, they would have been more aligned, you know? You're all looking for the same thing, but something is looking at her, and its goals don't align with any of yours, it seems. It's doing its own thing.
I was afraid you'd say that. All right, Ginger, come on. We gotta go.
Okay. You don't think it's that same guy we ran into that one town, do you?
I'd rather not think about it. Let's just go.
Okay. Yeah. I like that you whispered to her like it actually matters to Ginger whether or not you're whispering. I liked her.
She was something, all right.
I feel like it's more pressing now. Let's head back to food.
Yeah. I'd rather we get to her as soon as we can.
All right, up to. Ginger kind of picks up the pace.
That tiny scoot. Hey, there we go. Uh-oh. Someone's cooking over there.
I've got
What?
an order to make.
You do.
Took me
I
a
can
second.
only
I was like,
assume we'll be seeing her again.
I mean, someone said they were going to go back to visit.
I am. All right. So we were already looking around the last place that had food. I assume that another place that has food would be generally where they're at the falls. So I assume it would make sense for us to start heading in that ish direction.
Yeah, that feels right.
What a dick.
What happened?
What?
We're just playing some Topple Towers here.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of, what are Zurich, Larkin, and Rose up to? While Taryn and Ginger are getting divined.
Divine intervention. Or we're just divine in general.
In this case, getting divined isn't the verb. You're getting seen. They're looking at you. You're being perceived.
I think it's funny how Rose has become kind of a a tool for me to be in literally every conversation at all times.
I mean, Francisco's usually that the other way around, but you know.
Francisco has now managed to get himself off of the skiff and is now taking a tea break in a giant seaside clamshell tea bar.
Ooh, fancy.
Mm-hmm. Every time we mention him, I'm just going to have a little random tidbit of where he's at.
Mm-hmm. His slow progression. It's one of those that, like, if this was an actual anime episode or something, the scene transition into and out of the commercial would just have a little update on Francisco.
Yeah. He's having a great time.
Wander home.
Wander
Wander.
home.
Wander home.
Wander home. Put you in there for now. All right.
Eventually, I'm gonna have to make a kiss sheet for this person.
For who?
For the yeah,
this
for this person
mysterious stranger.
who doesn't have a name.
It feels right though.
uh,
There you go. In case any ideas come to you.
oh, thank you.
So we've managed to, I believe, kind of between Larkin and Rose, we've both managed to keep Zurich on point as we continue to travel further and further up until we hit that point in the falls where like the restaurants are built up utilizing this air bubble technology that Zurich and Larkin have never seen because they weren't given the description of how the boats and all that work. So for them, this is like, it's got to be magic. And it probably is still magic, but you're at that base where I believe this would have been the point where Rose initially lost Ginger and Taryn.
Not me looking up words in German. Hey, look at the tower! You did it!
Huzzah.
Yay.
Yay.
We have a thing for this.
Yay.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait till we can get that in the actual stream. That'll be great.
It was probably just heard on stream.
Yeah, probably.
I love that. That brings me much joy.
But what does everyone do now that we're like at the base of this waterfall? Where I believe Ginger and Taryn are probably on the way down the waterfall through like the various staircases and ladders.
Zerk is trying his absolute hardest not to get distracted by all the food smells, and he's doing his best to look out for the for Ginger, who'll be the tallest person in this entire area that he'd be able to spot the easiest.
Oh, wait a second. I think I have an idea. Rose sort of like scampers up to a lamppost and just begins scaling it.
Ah, yes, a higher vantage point. That'll help. Zenith has probably returned to the lamp at this point and is just waiting. Like he stopped leading when we got to the base of the waterfall. Like, you're at your destination. Here you go. And he just vanished without a word.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
So it sounds like we have a forgotten pocket god GPS.
Yes.
I try to keep the forgotten pocket god GPS. Before it would have been not Ember. Ember was
Yeah,
the
it was
actual
Ember.
figure. It was Ember was
Oh,
Wisp.
Wisp.
I always just called him shithead.
No, that's Whisper.
Oh, okay. Right, Wisp was cool.
Wisp was the firefly.
Right, I liked Wisp. Whisperer was a dick. Specifically to me.
What do
The
you
Rose
mean? They helped you make things up with your ex.
Yeah, everything's totally fine now.
So Rose climbs up to the top and like takes a good look around, and sees the bright visage of Ginger making her way down, and she thinks about hollering to get your attention, but then realizes, wait a minute, that's not gonna work. So she just starts like flailing her arms around trying to get some kind of reaction.
Do either Ginger or Taryn notice?
Let's
Because Larkin would
see.
start looking around when she starts flailing and being like, "Who do you see?"
Well,
I'd say
it's
flip a coin
probably
for that one.
I was gonna say she's closer to my height now. How would I flip a coin? If only
You
I
have
had some dice.
you have a coin to flip.
That's true. Eh. Roll. It's to no, I don't. I don't see it.
Aw.
Taryn, do you see it? You also have a coin to flip.
Oh, I do. That's
Flip
right.
that coin. No.
You guys just start walking down. You making it there.
Blissfully unaware.
I feel like Rose at this point would realize, okay, they're not seeing me, and then like start shimmying back down.
Like,
We gotta go beat them. They're gonna get lost.
like, all right, I saw them over there. Come on, let's hurry.
Squeak, 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 squeak. High speed wheel karting.
That's a little terrifying considering it's like a rock.
Larkin is a lot stronger than people would think. Oh,
I'm worried about the wheelchair.
it hasn't broken yet. Oh.
These wing bones aren't so hollow.
Jeez. They're filled with muscle.
They're solid as a rock.
Ah.
Double pun. We rejoin.
Hey, there you are.
Hey.
Where have you been?
What's up, kiddo?
Well, I mean, I had some grilled vegetables, and there was an onion volcano. Oh my god, it was so cool.
Oh my
And
god,
then
an onion volcano.
yes, it was so awesome.
Yes, we found her towards the lake. Seems she went back that way when you guys got separated.
Oh, that would have made sense.
Yeah, we probably should have
Damn.
started there. Oh well.
We did
Well,
see a cool temple
hopefully
though.
your effort wasn't fruitless. Ah, well, there we go. Maybe we can talk about it over some food.
Yes.
Yeah, I
See,
think
I
that
always
sounds great.
always try to find Rose because she finds the best food. Also here, I've been holding this dongo for like 30 minutes just for you. It's been
Oh,
excruciating.
thanks.
It's totally not melted or cold at this point.
They taste fine cold.
You eat anything.
I do eat anything. I would say I would assume that Taryn would say that to me and be like, it's fine cold. It's a thought that counts.
It is the thought that counts. So we all grab some grub. I like to imagine it's been about 2 hours. What's Francisco doing now?
Does anyone else want to turn at Francisco's whimsical adventure?
Hey, Zurich.
Alright,
Francisco was
so-
heading south to find a library. Where are they now?
So they just stopped at the Seaside Cafe, was it? Or
Yep.
Or what? Okay.
The lakeside.
Or yeah, Lakeside. Yeah.
Lakeside, yeah.
I want to say that they're now venturing down a path into the not exactly the dark spooky woods, but it's like there's a lot of overhang stuff like that. Like it gets a lot denser from here on out, and as he's making his way through, ends up deciding to take another tea break.
That's big Francisco energy.
Ooh, but now he's in like a cool,
Cool, right by
like
the water.
woodsy.
Still just a little drizzly, so he's just moist.
He's having the best time of his life right now.
He's living turtle dreams.
Some turtle and tea time.
Turtle tea.
Turtle.
Turtle tea sounds
Turtle
very
yellow
earthy.
for the Turtle Club.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, turtle tea time. It could almost be turtle tea time segments.
Oh, cute.
Every now and then we're just like, where's Francisco? And then someone just randomly decides what he's doing.
Just living his best life.
It's my favorite segment.
So I like to think that it's still a few hours until the Captain Ursula said that you should meet her back at the docks.
uh,
What are we doing?
Oh,
I
is it about that
would.
time
Which time?
that we were supposed to meet up with her? Sorry,
No,
I
I'm
like
thinking-
spaced for a
Almost.
second.
I'm
There-
thinking that we're like halfway. Like half of your time has been spent just finding food and then finding Rose.
Oh, okay.
So you got another like couple hours.
Rose, do you want to go check out the cool like? Oh, what was it? They were like castles almost, weren't they? But it was like a shrine. You want to check out
It
the cool
was-
shrine
It was a temple.
temple? I would have gotten there eventually.
Sure. Maybe we should grab some food to go for them though, 'cause they're pretty hungry.
Oh, I thought we were eating.
Yeah, I thought we had just like finished eating. Like we picked
Oh,
a spot
okay.
and then we're just because we would have all, I think, agreed to just
To
go
like
to wherever
sit
Rose
and
wanted
eat
to
together.
go.
Yeah.
My bad. My brain is like juggling, like listening, and also like I came up with a name finally.
Ooh,
Nice.
progress. I'm not sneaking a peek, but you know, excited to hear about it later.
I thought you called him fried rice.
Fried rice. His name is Fried Rice,
The
and he's back for revenge.
BBG.
But yeah, I think we've all gotten some food. Everyone has a nice full belly. We all have our umbrellas for the most part, or something of similar. And now we're just sightseeing without the panic of where is Rose? And I didn't even take Rose this time.
Look at that.
I know
Look
it
at
happened
that.
organically.
She took herself. How independent. Ugh.
Fly in the coop.
Fly in the coop?
All kids have to eventually.
Oh, okay.
I
I don't know. I just thought there might be some like chicken people.
mean, there probably is, but you know.
Sure,
Not
we haven't
here.
run into any
Yeah.
chicken folk yet.
Anyone can be found anywhere. It just so happens that here is primarily otters and bears.
Mm-hmm.
In
Otters
El
and bears.
Dorado.
Oh my.
El Dorado.
Dorado. Yeah, for shit. Okay.
We watched that movie recently. Husky
God,
and
I love Dorado. Anyway. I
we
assume they do
mentioned-
tours and stuff. Sorry.
No, it's all good. I was gonna say, have we mentioned anything about the teacher who lives in the rocks yet?
You mean
That
the
would have
rocks that
been
are
up-
up at the top of the waterfall, right where that shrine is?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, because that's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah, totally not having a Zurich moment here, forgetting all about what happened last 5 minutes.
Not me trying to lead us on up towards the top of the waterfall, or you could speak to a mysterious gentleman or mistress that is, I don't know, something.
I mean, Zerk's already had some hallucinogenic tea today. Why not go talk to a spiritual advisor at this point?
At least you have a full stomach now.
Yeah.
You're not chugging hallucinogens on an empty stomach.
That's the real problem.
Yes, I guess you could say I was too busy praising the sun.
right.
shall head further up, back to that weird shrine area.
Mm-hmm.
Like a multi-building, but it's all in one style, so it feels like, one location.
Yeah, it's like tiered, like they have them in like different spots going around.
There's some construction going on as they rebuild certain pieces of it, but and add some additions. You got otters and bears running all over the place. Does anyone want to lead on with where we go from here?
Specifically want to talk to the person that I just talked to a little bit ago, but if anyone has something that they want to do first to kind of space that out a little bit. I don't know what
I
exactly Zerk wanted to do.
I encourage whatever you guys want to do because I am currently working on this kiss sheet now.
Cool. Zurich, did you want to do anything cool with like your character, introduce something? I don't know. There is some overlap with our current location and my understanding of your backstory, so could be something to consider.
Yeah, I've been trying to think of how I can work the prophecy into all of this.
The
How
prophecy.
because if I'm correct, doesn't Zerg still have the flower in his pocket that he has yet to realize is there?
Yep.
He does still have the flower in his pocket, yes.
Okay, yeah,
I
okay.
would like to add something that I have in my inventory that I think may or may not be relevant that I'm just now realizing. I have a bottle of rare and important medicine for a venerable god that dwells in an ancient forest.
Mm.
Oh
I
yeah.
just have that in my bag. So
Are
I don't
we
know if
are we
that
making the
helps you.
prophecy to help free El Dorado from its mysterious? I guess not exactly prison, but like the reason it's trapping people here, or whatever. Are we like unraveling the prophecy towards that or something?
I would think it'd be something like that, but also we could dabble in the fact that they don't want to be rescued.
Because everything is good.
Yeah. So it could be one of those things where it's like there is something that is trying to keep it good, but it is getting like it's unraveling almost.
Yeah. That's perfect. That's even better than what I was going for.
Cool. I love workshopping. Well, if you're working on that, the thing that I want to do has nothing to do with that. Um, if you want, I can do my thing real quick.
I'll
Yeah. We
wait.
can do your thing, and that could somehow lead into all of this. And we have like some mystical guidance on where we got to go.
Nice. All right. Rose, I don't know if you're sticking with me or if you're sticking with father figure, but I'm gonna head this way to talk to a really cool otter lady that finds people.
I think we'll come along too. Yeah, I'll stick with Papa Bear here. I think he's had enough excitement for one day.
That's fair. Whoa.
My bad, that was my mic stand.
Okay.
Yeah, so hollow. I was like, what the heck?
Was that a train?
I
It's
like
lots and lots of.
trains.
So you guys go to talk to the otter. Let me pull out that sheet. And would anyone else like to play as the otter? Ski?
Oh,
I think he's working on something.
Yeah, I would play the otter, but no, I gotta try to come up with repairing El Dorado here.
Cool, cool. All right, I will play the otter.
If it makes you feel better, it does. Well, I'll just get into it. Hello,
Yeah,
Otter
ask where
Ma'am.
Ember is.
100%. Of course she is. The second you were like, I find people, Ginger was immediately like, oh. Hello,
uh,
Otter Ma'am.
oh, it's Janice. Come on in. Glad to see
Hi,
you.
Janice.
Did you have the chance to find the bunny you're looking for?
We did. Thank you. You were very, very useful. Very much appreciated all of the help and general advice.
Ah, perfect.
I actually came here to see if I could ask for you to check in on someone else.
Oh, well, I'm not doing anything else at the moment. Who is it that you're wanting to commune with?
Her name is Amber, and she's an is it Ocelotl? Is that how you say it?
It was an Alm, actually.
Oh, sorry. She is
OLL.
an she is an Olm. She's about pretty close to my height, a little bit taller actually, surprisingly. And she's on her own adventure, and I trust that she's safe, but you know, it'd be cool if I knew.
Hmm. Well, I don't see a reason why not. Seems you two know each other well enough. That's the good important part. You have to have a good connection with someone. Otherwise, you won't
We're
bridge the
pretty tight.
connection, you know?
Mm-hmm.
She goes, and puts the little teacup down and pulls out the little box again, the little beetle shell in it and all that. All right. Starts shuffling it around. Larkin walks in and just sort of takes a seat in the back. Everyone notices except for Ginger because
Okay.
of the squeak. Ginger,
I'm
I'm sure,
very
has their
focused.
focus extremely forward.
Mm-hmm.
It gives it that solid, little thunk to the ground. Some of the claws and other bits and bobs fly up and land in the little ball. And she takes a moment and she's just looking it over. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. All right. Hmm. Seems Death is a close companion of this one.
Oh, I don't like that.
Well, I simply mean that they seem to be really close to someone, and that someone is also dead.
I don't like that either.
Hmm. And they seem to be surrounded by some manner of graveyard.
Are they still in the graveyard?
Hmm.
Can you tell if she's okay?
I mean, as far as I can tell here, she's fine. Seems
Oh,
she's in the
okay.
middle of guiding someone of some sort.
She is she is pretty good at that. It's kind of her
Hmm.
favorite thing to do.
But yes, that's the gist of it right now. She's guiding somebody. Um, I can't tell if this is just like a conversation or physically moving around, but there's some guiding happening. And let's see. Yeah, it's hard to tell. She's doing well. Of that I can be certain. There's nothing here to really give hint of the ill intent. She's just surrounded by this constant change, this constant inevitability.
Hmm. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I very much appreciate it, ma'am. Would you like a dongo?
Oh, yes.
It is a little cold, but they taste fine. Look over at Taryn. They taste fine.
I'll just pop it over here and hold it over the little fire for a little bit. Ah,
There you go. Using nature.
oh,
Aaron just
come
kind of like
back
makes a
only for
face.
that question. And how are you, miss? And she looks down to Rose.
Oh, I'm fine.
Did you have yourself a little adventure while you were lost?
Oh, I guess so. I mean, I did see some really cool stuff down at the market. And I mean, you know, I kept my cool. At least I think I did while I was lost. So I guess all in all, it wasn't so bad.
Seem to have a good head on your shoulders. Your father's been raising you well. Yum, 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 yum.
Taryn just kind of like,
Hmm.
So, that's a lot of you. What brings you guys to El Grotto? I presume you're travelers. The bear I might have mistaken for a local that I just not met recently, but I don't leave this particular mountainside often. But everyone else seems very fresh-faced.
What was that?
She was mentioning that everyone else seems like new faces to her.
Ah.
What brings you guys to El Dorado?
Oh, he kind of showed up. Well, we were in that graveyard, actually the one that you see on there. The one that she's still at. We were there, and then we were trying to find a way out, and we kind of found a way further in.
We don't have a lot of travelers. I've heard tell that there was some manner of turtle or something like that visited with the most frequency but never stayed. Otherwise, most people that show up tend to just stay here. Every now and
Oh
then
yeah,
someone leaves, but we don't know how. We assume that they're just heading back out to whatever it is beyond the fog.
yeah. I actually don't know if that turtle's ever gonna make it back out alive or not.
Dangerous out there.
Oh yeah, marriage is a terrifying thing.
Yum, 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 yum. Yes.
You, there's no real easy way to ask this question, but that other eye you saw earlier, could you tell what it was?
The other watching figure.
Watching figure? Don't worry about it right now. Yes.
He'll tell you later. Looks pointedly at him.
He's doing his best to not make this traumatizing for her.
No, not in particular. All I know is you had someone looking after you, and not in the same way that your father here or even your friends would look after you. It was more of, how would I put it?
If you're looking for a motive, the kith sheet is done. You can look at it.
I'll double check. I know how I want to word it, but I want to see just how. Okay, perfect. Yes, it's more of how how would you put it? How you'd look after a pet or something that you expect to get something back out of. The family beetle or something like that.
Huh.
the give and take of a relationship.
That's weird.
Yeah, they seem to be waiting all the same. They've been watching you. At least they were watching you when I took a look.
Did you know about this?
Well, I had a feeling it might come up sometime, but you weren't exactly ready to hear it yet.
Do you need me to consult the bones for you?
I mean, I guess at this point it wouldn't hurt.
The bones.
She like picks one up, tosses it without even looking at the bowl, and then looks at you and is like, seems like some truth telling is in your future.
Oh,
I smile.
Gee, thanks.
Doesn't even bother.
Well.
Looks like a bitch.
Well, see, I told you before that the mark on your neck was made by a god, right?
Yeah. Well, I was actually just talking to Larkin about it earlier.
Well, yeah, there's no easy way to say this, but he's been following us.
What does that mean?
To be honest, I don't really know, but he wants you. He wants you to come back with him.
Back to where?
Back to where you were born.
You mean where Mom and Dad?
Yeah.
Why?
I didn't stick around long enough to find out.
That's kind of a lot. Do you mind if I... She just sort of like gestures toward the door.
Go. It's okay. We'll be here.
Okay. And she just like kind of takes a step outside.
Very quiet here. She'll be safe up here. Always watchful eyes, you know?
It doesn't make me feel better.
I'm sure it won't, but just know she's safe. Anyway, while that stews, what else do we have here? She takes this like small glance into the beetle shell, which she goes to like clean it up basically, and then pauses for a moment. And I like to imagine that it would be at this point that the curse from Terran would be lifted. Like he finally, like he
Oh.
went that whole previous scenario and only really sneezed at that moment when it was brought up that this is something he should be worried about. And he finally did something that required a very large step of bravery.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And
A weight is lifted.
this little witchy
Mm.
woman kind of notices, like, huh, seems you were in fact cursed, but not anymore. Whatever that was.
Oh,
And she starts
yeah.
cleaning up the bits and bobs.
Sorry for not mentioning that earlier.
It's fine. Take something stronger than that to mess with mine. It helps that I wasn't looking for you, I guess. She gets up and does a little stretch and like puts the little box, like shimmies over with her cane and puts the little box on the shelf. Well, what'll you guys do now?
I don't know. Do you guys have anything else you need to talk about or mention since we're all airing dirty laundry here?
Uh,
Speaking of dirty laundry, uh, you, the very, very, very large man, something about you can try to hide flowers in your pocket all you want, but that cloak needs a wash.
Oh, wait, what do you mean hiding flowers in my pockets?
Oh, come
I
on,
don't
everyone can smell
understand.
it.
And Zerk reaches down and puts his hand into his pocket, feels the flower, carefully and gently
Ginger's
pulls it out.
Ginger's nose gets like very close to him.
You get about halfway to what is very close and can already smell the cloak. It
Huh.
smells damp and mildewy.
Huh. I'm sure the otters have something for that.
Yeah, I hope
A
somebody
washboard.
does.
Yeah.
Like from The Little Mermaid washboard. Anyway,
And
yeah,
other
flower.
things like history.
Where did you come across one of those flowers? I just figured you had something fragrant.
I'm not too sure. I ended up meeting this person in the forest here, and they asked me if I wanted some tea, and I briefly remember them showing me this flower here, and I think that's what they made the tea out of. Zerk will take a moment and just stare at the flower, and then suddenly he gets kind of lost in the gaze of the flower there, almost like he's having his flashbacks to his dream there. Um,
I'd find it strange that you just have one. I don't think we're missing any. We grow those up here. They grow here at the top of the waterfall. It draws a kind of strength from the water. Um, and in much the same way that the water is lighter than air, the tea that is made from it helps lift your spirit and lift your mind in an almost literal sense and gives you a perspective of things that you normally wouldn't have.
oh, so it gives me a higher perception on things, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
How dare you? In this tabletop game.
I couldn't help it. There was something inside me just screaming, "Yes, we Canada, get away with it."
Yes. Yes, you can, Nada.
Well, it's not much good to you in that form. If you eat that, you're just gonna upset your stomach. Since you've already got the flour, would you like me to make it into some tea for you? I could try it out.
If you wouldn't mind doing so, I'd greatly appreciate it. I believe you'd probably be one of the only few people that actually knows how to make tea properly with this flour.
It's not
You think the
too.
homeless man in the woods doesn't know what he's doing?
The critical thing, you gotta dilute it a little bit. It's very potent. You know, you drink it too fast or something like that, and goodness, you'll be out for who knows how long.
I imagine it's one of those things where you got like a whole bunch of flashes of the prophecy and nothing really made sense. It was like too strong.
Yeah, that's
It was like
where
a trip.
Zerk's
It's like
that's where Zerk's
watching.
flashback came in.
It's like watching the history of the world, I guess, and then having to do a test on actual history, and you're like, I can't remember any of this. But she's gonna like swap it out for an already dried flower on the wall, so that you're not having to wait for a flower to dry.
Yeah,
Because you'll see that she's got a bunch, and you didn't recognize them at first. Because once they're dried out, they don't glow the same. But she does pull out a mortar and pestle and puts that flour in, some other stuff, mint, other things, and starts grinding it all in. This will take a little bit. Don't mind me. Make yourselves at home.
We have a new mint at the nursery that's strawberry mint.
ooh,
It
Neat.
smells really good.
Cool.
Anyway, sorry.
Groovy.
Groovy.
All right. So while we're waiting for this tea, speaking of that, what's going on with Turtle Tea Time?
Turtle tea time. I think it's Ross's turn.
Oh God, it is my. What was the last thing he did?
He wandered off into the
Denser
woods.
woods, like
Yeah, the
portion.
denser woods, and then just decided, you know, what, time for another tea break.
I think he found in those woods. He found a fairy circle, a circle of mushrooms.
What does he do
Ooh.
with it?
Uh, he
He
has tea
admires
next
it.
to it.
I was gonna say there's like a little table set up.
he
It's
he has tea with the fae.
it's funny that you bring that up because I was thinking now somehow we could try to tie in tea time into Zerg's prophecy here, and unknowingly I forgot his name.
Francisco.
Francisco will end up helping out the whole group and everything like that. It just
Oh my god, that would be so cool. Like we have a seance and like the stars aligned and Francisco, who is like the epitome of Zen, is like he just happens to be there. He just kind of shows up like fucking Mufasa out of the clouds.
Just because he was in the right place at the right time.
I actually love this. Can this just be it?
oh yeah.
So, what is the prophecy? Like, what all goes into it? What all is happening here?
Okay. I would imagine it would be something along the lines of like stormy clouds are coming in. Like they don't deal with storms here, so it's something really
It's always
ominous.
like
Like
England about to
yeah,
rain weather at all times.
yeah. So it's like one of those things where like the balmy weather, like a wind comes in, like a cold wind, and it brings in what looks like a storm. And it's like that's the setup. And
That's
now we gotta figure.
the first omen, if you will.
Yeah.
It is nighttime during the day as storm clouds roll in and bring darkness to the cities.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Zurich?
I'm thinking that that lines up perfectly with kind of what I had going there.
What else is there then?
Well, that'd be the first part of Zerg's prophecy that he briefly remembers. Second part would be
I imagine Francisco is in the clouds and he'll like point in different directions to keep you on track.
Remember who you are.
geez,
Remember to stretch before any strenuous activities.
Remember to stay hydrated.
Remember to double check all signature fields on official documents. Maybe we can tie in that package that supposedly Ginger has to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that would work. Cause Zerg's having an old man moment. He can't remember what he was trying to do.
So, what is that package again that's supposed to go to who?
It is a bottle of rare and important medicine, and it's supposed to go to a venerable god that dwells in an ancient forest.
So, what if?
So,
Oh, go on.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking. I keep forgetting his name. What if Francisco somehow ends up meeting up with this vulnerable forest god here, and ends up asking for help, and somehow, some way, we all end up not well. No, I guess it wouldn't work out like that.
I have an idea.
Eh, yeah, go for it. I'm just spitballing here.
You're good. So it's like an ancient forest, and there is the like flower, right? So like there's the storms are coming in, and then they're coming in, and then you see in the forest there's that flower, but it looks sickly, right? And then a moth comes in, like one of the general like it obviously it'd be more artistic because this is a séance, symbolic. So a moth comes in and lands on the flower, and then it gets better, basically.
Ooh, like the moth tender tended, basically,
Yeah,
but like in
basically.
more symbolic terms.
Yeah. One of those things where it's like, huh, this could be argued that it's supposed to be like a delivery.
So what if um the reason that this place seems to always be stuck where it is and like things don't change like they're supposed to is because the venerable nature god essentially forgot how to do that, forgot how to make the seasons progress. And the
What if
combination of this package that you're supposed to deliver and this tea that improves your perception and memories and recollection of things beyond your comprehension is enough to kickstart the memories of this venerable god?
he's sick because he can't change?
He's stagnant.
Yes. And that's why he looks the way he does.
And what we need is to basically find him and get
Mm-hmm.
him the potion ingredients.
Yep.
There's a kiss sheet out for anyone who wants to make the venerable god.
I think Zurich should. Zurich hasn't had the opportunity to really make a kiss sheet yet.
That's true. There you go, buddy.
There you go,
All
buddy. It's your first kiss sheet. Make a god.
Hold on.
Well, the good news is that we already have one of its traits down, and it's venerable.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm gonna have to Google what that means unless someone just knows.
A venerable kith is as old as the hills and earth. They are
Gotcha.
often mountain gods, isopods of ancient time, and beings deep in the old dark, among others.
I'm gonna
I
lock
love
this
when
for you.
Ginger's random bag of nonsense helps the plot.
That is what it's there for. Your bag of nonsense is the plot.
Nice.
I really like the Kith name on this sheet. The default name is just Banana.
Aww.
That's the default name on every field, I think.
I love that though.
Be not afraid. It is I, the venerable god.
Banana.
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 Boom. Boom.
Oh,
Boom. Hmm?
oh, I was just thinking the venerable god could be that bear prophet or whatever we want to call him, that Zerk ran into before, that he had the
Yeah,
tea with.
That
that's
just
kind of
makes
what I
sense.
was thinking. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he
Okay.
looked very sickly too.
Yeah. I was kind of
Yeah.
thinking like, okay, well, maybe he forgot how to quote unquote hibernate, and hence that's why the seasons
It
don't
seems stuck
change.
in a perpetual fall or spring between
Yeah.
the two. They either
Mm-hmm.
never woke up or never went to sleep.
I like it.
Or actually they've been asleep the whole time, hence the what was it, the city of restless
Oh,
dreams.
Like you only ever like meet him like in his sleep state, which makes sense why Zurich
Or
would
you
find him
only,
first.
yeah, you only meet Zurich probably took a nap, and it was in that dream state that he met him and had that whole interaction in a dream, but Zurich didn't realize. 'Cause when you're in
Damn.
the dream, it's just reality.
I didn't know we were playing Link's Awakening.
Yeah, Zerk's they're just trying to process all this now. Just yeah, okay.
What is my
okay,
life?
yeah. Yeah, just going
What
through
is
the surprise
reality?
Pikachu face to the questioning of reality, and then just lost in space.
A regular Tuesday for Zurich.
Enter the infinite.
uh Ross, do you want me to help you have that conversation with Rose since she wouldn't have the like before knowledge?
To
If that helps
essentially
you.
play as Rose.
Yeah, to help you get through that like conversation, or do you already have something in mind?
No, you are perfectly welcome to take that role.
Yoink.
I thought it
Yeah.
might I thought it might help you a little bit without having to go back and forth. Gallivant into an awkward situation. I love that.
Sometimes unintentionally, almost as though it is fate. Dun dun dun.
Bum bum bum.
If you guys want to have that conversation now while Husky's working on the kith sheet, you can do that.
Yeah, I'm good if you want to.
Yeah, why not? Now would be a great time, actually.
I'll leave you guys
Try
to
to
it.
try to get into my inner Rose here. I imagine she's just kind of sitting outside.
It's like on the
Probably
stairs.
hand
Yeah,
on the back of the neck, just like
watching
thoughtfully
clouds. Yeah.
watching a storm roll in that's not supposed to be here.
Ooh.
Taryn sort of like walks up behind her and is like, hey kiddo. You doing
Hey.
okay?
Yeah, just thinking. No, I'm not really sure what to think right now.
And just sort of just like sits next to her. Listen, I didn't mean to keep that from you. It's just you know, I didn't think you were ready to hear it, and it it's really hard to talk about it without also thinking of your mom and dad. I don't know.
I
I
get
guess I was running.
I get why we were both running, but they're my parents too. Well, they're my parents first, I guess. I mean, I'd want to know. Can I know now?
Well, I guess now's as good a time as any. Well,
your dad and I, he was my best friend when we were growing up in this little town in the forest called Cedar Hollow. It's a really nice place. You would have loved it. It was in a forest full of pine trees.
I remember the smell.
Yeah. He just he's just kind of like looking up at the sky and kind of like away because he's like afraid of like her noticing that he's kind of like tearing up thinking about it.
She kind of holds his hand a little bit.
It was a quiet place, and we lived there all our lives until your mom, Lavender, moved in, and they got really close. And I mean, I was there. We were all friends. So I don't know. Part of me might have been jealous, but that's not important right now. What is important is after you were born, you know, your dad's whole world changed. He was so excited to have you and to tell you all of these things, to teach you what the world was going to be like. But one day he came to me with you in his arms and begged me to take you and run. I didn't know why, but he didn't exactly give me time to ask questions. All I know is that he's called Heimdall.
A chill runs down her back.
Ugh.
Ugh.
He's supposed to be a god of fate, and we knew about him in town, and a lot of the older people used to pay homage to him. But
Was he bad?
well, I don't know. I don't think he was. But something changed. Something happened, and he wants you. I don't know for what or why. But I'm scared. I'm scared that if he takes you back, that I'll... And he just kind of like chokes on his words.
You'll lose all of us.
I can't let you go.
She kind of looks down. I know. Thank you for what it's worth. I know that must be hard. I didn't really know them, but I know you, and if they trusted you enough to take me with you, then I mean, I've always known you were a good person, but I hope you know too.
Thanks. That really means a lot to me.
She kind of leans her head on your arm.
Taryn's all
You
like
can-
now at just kind of a loss for words.
I bet that we can keep each other safe now.
Yeah. That sounds great.
So no more secrets. And she kind of gives him a pinch.
Ow. All right, you got me. Fine. No more secrets. I promise.
Thanks, Dad. Oh,
Fuck,
my heart.
I'm
You
gonna
said it.
start crying. I'm not gonna lie. Like I felt it.
God. That's what this game is about. Fucking character development, though. That felt good.
It did, and it's weird make believe catharsis.
Good RP.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for letting me do that.
You are more than welcome to take that role anytime.
We have a lot of fun with Francisco, so he's the way of things.
Francisco's great.
Speaking of Francisco, Quiz, it is your turn.
Actually, I think it's yours.
No, because I gave mine right before we decided to start swapping turns, and then it went from me to Husky to Ross.
Oh, what was yours?
Mine's was originally that he was traveling along and gosh,
Yeah, I don't remember yours.
must have gotten overshadowed by all of you guys' amazing ideas.
Oh yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, don't not getting called out here. All right, let's see. Francisco. So he had his fun seance, where for some reason, we all know the reason why he decided to have tea next to the fairy circle because he's friggin' Francisco. But he had that whole seance where he's like, well, just helping the group out once again. I don't know how they survive without me. And then he's gonna creakily get up, do some stretches, do some bends, some toe touches, which is its own thing when you have a shell.
He's really just trying to touch the ground without falling forward.
Yeah, it's a practiced movement. And then he's gonna keep on going. And I imagine he is at least 3/4 of the way there. He is going to keep walking along until he runs into some people with a beetle and a wagon. He's gonna wave him down, and he's gonna sit in the back of the wagon with some of the other passengers and just swap tails until they get into town.
I like to imagine that they almost waved him down, and they seem a little not worried, but like, weird weather we're having. Sky doesn't usually
Yeah.
get this dark.
We should
We'll
probably
help
pick
you
up
get
this old man.
under some roof
Yeah.
and all that. Nice.
And that's tea time with Francisco.
Time with Francisco. All right. So, how's it going with our new Kith?
Which one?
The one
Husky.
Husky's working on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how's that
Oh, there we
first
go.
Kith doing? The god.
Going along pretty good so far. Got just about everything figured out. Just need to add one or two more things. This kith can always do.
Ooh. That was gonna be fun.
Do you know? Let me double check here. Well, okay. Let's open my PDF over here.
Your pdiv.
My PDF. All right. So let me help you out here. So your traits are listed under the trait section. So quiet is an actual trait. It's listed under grounded.
Okay.
Um, gentle soul, always yawning, can go under like details about the character or notes. Um, and then you can also put, the forgotten forest god of El Dorado in one of those sections as well. Either one. So, based on my interactions with them so far, I think that it would make sense for traits. Quiet makes sense. Um, I think we should give them 3 because we can give them quiet, but we can also give them the very conflicting Rackus, Raucous.
No, I definitely did not spell the correct.
So
Sorry, one more time.
Raucous. Ous.
Try not to crinkle this burrito so close to the mic. Have an ASMR moment.
And then I also think that given the nature of what their purpose is in our story, we should give them one of the traumatized traits, either empty or grieving or lost. I think make a lot of sense.
Ooh.
All of those are listed under traumatized traits. So what you can do is you can look at those and read the description for each of them, and pick the one that kind of matches what it is that matches them. I believe that empty would be the one that makes the most sense because it says here an empty kith feels like there's just not much left to them anymore. They are often war blasted survivors, hunted veterans, and those hollowed out by pain, among others. So now what you would do, like who they are, what their traits are. You've got some details about them. So under this kith can always, for each trait, there are 3 options listed for what that kith can always do based on those traits.
Okay.
So you'd choose 1 or 2 of those of that list of 3. So if we start with quiet, a quiet kith doesn't have much to say. They are often cull porters, glass blowers, and wallflowers, among other things. Choose 1 to 2 they can always do. Tap on someone's shoulder, stare at someone until they get the point, or non-verbally ask, "Are you okay?" So you can pick 1 or 2 of those. Since this kith has 3 traits, we'd probably just want to pick 1 of each that kith can always do. And
Yeah.
the benefit of these is that if someone else picks up that character sheet and wants to play as this kith, um, they know what this kith can always do based off of that. So it helps us have a common ground that we can all play the same character from. So after that, we've got Rackus. A raucous kith is always looking for a good time. They are often revelers, jesters, roustabouts, among other things.
It's a
Which I think
roustabout.
make a roustabout. Geez,
Like a
you're just
party
gonna have
goer.
to. Basically, they're looking for where all the energy is, or something like that. But for this one, choose 1 to do they can always do. Find fun in a dull task, get lost in the excitement, or know exactly where a better party is.
They're a bar hopper.
basically.
I was thinking to play off the quiet there. We'll probably find fun in adult task.
Mm-hmm. And then for empty, which is the third trait, we already read it, but I'll read it again. An empty kith feels like there just is not much left to them anymore. They are often war blasted survivors, haunted veterans, and those hollowed out by pain, among others. Choose 1 to 2 they can always do. They can sigh and gaze blankly, ask, does it matter? Or display an emotion you thought you couldn't anymore.
That last one kind of goes hard.
Yeah.
It I like to think that WanderHome is an extremely lighthearted game that out of nowhere can be very not lighthearted.
We just
What?
had that moment.
What? Okay, and what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna right click on this. And we're gonna set the name and the description.
God, I love roleplay so much.
Now, if you hover over the sheet long enough, it'll list the name and that description. It just makes it a little easier for us to find that sheet later when it's inside of the
Oh yeah, there we go.
and you can always edit that at any time by just right clicking on the character sheet on an open spot. And at the
Oh yeah, I
bottom of that
see.
right click context menu, you can do that for any kith that you make. And it makes it a little easier to find them later. Because you hover over them, it'll just give you the name. And if you stay hovered over it, you'll see the extra description. So like Heimdall here doesn't have extra description yet. But that character is also essentially still in the works. So Janice I have listed as reads bones to see the future.
Janice is great.
Rose does not have extra details. Francisco is apparently the extra details are not there, but it's also not the default, so that it looks like the default filling in of that field was erased. But you know, tis what tis.
What? I messed up making a kids sheet? No.
I mean, you got further than some.
I'd like to
Did
point
not.
out that Heimdall's is pretty alright, so I didn't
Hmm?
write a swear.
That is pretty cool. I know I was waiting for like the name drop and I was like, ooh, good one. Good and spooky.
I mean, we've already referenced the Bifrost in this city.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But
You know,
yeah,
at first I was gonna go with Fenrir, but I was like, wait a minute, no, that's too scary. B, that doesn't really fit with his theme. So I was like, wait a minute, no, Heimdall works.
Heimdall does work.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm thinking we'll probably want to close it up here in about 15 minutes and not go too late. Because we're at a really good point of a lot of things coming together.
Mm-hmm.
And we've literally only been here for one night. So what'll probably happen is it'll still be monsoon as we travel to whatever the next place is, presuming we don't stay here for longer, or it depends on what happens when all of this stuff goes down.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to go around the table and give a general description of what everybody is still doing so that we kind of have it fresh in our minds for next time. Because I know that Larkin, for example, is probably just walking around the shrine after seeing the bone reading, and he would have left with Taryn, but continued wandering around with the little wheelchair. He's trying to see what all is going on here and what spiritual significance it might have.
I would
I'd
say
imagine Taryn and
go
Rose are
ahead.
probably still like sitting there like quietly admiring the scenery.
Getting the occasional actual raindrop
Yeah,
as the sky darkens.
it's like, oh.
Totally not ominously.
Mm. Yeah,
What about
Ginger is
Ginger?
she's watching the storms come in and a little bit worried. Uh Also still trying to figure out like how do I find Amber again?
They've got their own little personal quest.
I like how we started this session completely aimless, and then we just
And now
created drama.
we are swimming in direction, if you will.
I love it. I love it. Francisco is a little concerned because the people around him are concerned as they are explaining that that's not normal. And he is very far from the group.
That makes sense, and he doesn't have access to a moth sender to get a letter
Yeah, to get
across.
anything out. Yeah.
He's just kind of trapped in the South Shores.
Yeah. Well, at least he did tell the otter captain lady where he was going. So if we meet back up with her, which I think is going to be
Well,
really cool
the bear,
in like
the bear
oh, the
captain.
bear.
His
Sorry,
name's
bear captain.
Ursula.
Ursula the bear captain, because I am sure we have to have a really cool scene where we're like flying through a storm, please.
Castle in the sky, all like.
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes, yes,
okay.
yes.
And then what about Zurich? What's Zurich up to? Contemplating this tea, which I will say that the elderly lady, over the course of that conversation and just your brooding, she hands you this little envelope, if you will, almost like a manila envelope, but more rustic than that. And it just contains some tea. It has written on it like moonflower leaf.
All right. Zerk would have tucked that away for safekeeping for later, in case he needed it again during his time here in El Grotto. But other than that, Zerk probably found himself a nice quiet spot somewhere nearby and is just gazing off into the beauty that is El Grotto there, just slowly puffing away on his pipe,
Oh,
just
terrible.
contemplating life in general.
He put it away for a rainy day.
It's always rainy.
Exactly.
Time for tea.
That's his catchphrase now.
Nice.
Yeah, that could be his catchphrase, and it could also be something he did back in his old country.
Back in the
All
old
right.
country.
Well, I think that's a good point to like summarize it all up on. We got a lot of cool things happening, so we'll have some opportunity to possibly discuss that over this coming week. Um, if you feel like that's a good stopping point for you guys,
Yeah, feels
Mhm.
right.
because I feel like if we start something now, it's gonna go for a while.
Yeah.
It feels like we're right on the
Yeah.
cusp of something epic.
I'm pretty excited, not gonna lie.
All right. Well, let me swap us over to the other view. And we'll take this opportunity to go the other way around. Taryn, where can you be found on the internet?
Oh, sure.
Perfect.
No, you caught me with food in my mouth. Um,
Well,
hi.
you're invading.
Jeez. Uh, I am Ross underscore the underscore bear. Again here on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I do stuff. You can hang out if you want. That'd be cool.
You know, if you want to.
So tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
Nice. And then Zurich, where can you be found on the internet?
When I'm not forgetting what I was doing, I could be found hiding in the Wooters Stream Team Discord. If I'm not there, I'm usually hiding in somebody's stream that happens to be live on the team.
And Ginger, where can you be found on the internet or otherwise?
I'm usually at a plant nursery covered in dirt. But
Mhm.
otherwise, on the internet, I sometimes stream on Twitch. Was all one night, and I do TikToks. They're usually farm related or garden related, just in general.
Nice. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As for me, you can find me on Twitch at little_foxy. I play a lot of Faz, IDV, a little bit. It's that genre of game, if you will, right now. For when I do stream. Otherwise, you'll find me on uh, both this stream along with everyone here, and then you'll see me and Husky on Awooters Does D&D on Sundays. I do not believe that this upcoming Sunday we will be having a game. It's possible. Just be keeping an eye out. You can find our information on our Discord for the Awooters stream team, where you can get updates on any of our episodes as they release to YouTube, as well as when we're going live to play games here on the Awooters stream team channel.
Yay!
Which
Yay!
WanderHome seems to be doing
Woo!
pretty good on YouTube.
People do seem to enjoy it. It's a good vibe.
Yay!
Hey.
So, not so yay moment. I finished my kith sheet, hit the wrong button, and deleted all the note information I just wrote. Yay!
No.
Oh well, won't take that long.
I'll leave the tabletop up so that you can keep writing it in.
And the
But,
worst part
let's
Imagine
is,
he
see.
gets
Oh.
almost done, closes it.
Who do we want to raid into?
Looks like Kookie's up.
Yep, I'm
Yeah, I see
seeing
Kooky.
Kooky,
And DJ Yams.
DJ Yams. Let's go ahead and show some love to Kooky. I'll go ahead and type that in. They've got a mature stream over there, so just bear with that. And
Bear.
they are currently playing Honkai Star Rail. For those of you who play that, you can ask all of your questions and see what their team comp is and all that jazz, where they are and whatever story it is that is. I don't play Honkai Star Rail, but they do. That's what they're currently playing. So thank you all of you guys for watching tonight. Look for this on YouTube. For those of you on YouTube, thank you for watching on YouTube. And I look forward to seeing you guys all on the next episode. Bye.
Yay.
Goodbye.
Bye. Miss you already. Not saying anything.